Okay, so I'm in a funky mood right now. I'm going through the voice memos, right? As I mentioned in my last video. And when I channel, when I speak stuff and I'm not really thinking about what I'm saying, I don't remember what I say. And this was recorded like a year ago, year and a half. So when I'm listening to it, I'm like, interesting. And what's very interesting, and I really need to say this right now, is that in that specific voice memo, I'm talking about the guy that I'm just leaving behind right now. And I'm saying, like, I just met this nice guy and this and that, and I'm following my intuition. And I just want to laugh, honestly, because I'm like, really? Did I say that? Why? And it is funny because I don't know what else to do any longer. Because I know where I was way back then. And I was single. I was not committed. I was not committed. I didn't say, yes, let's have a relationship that time. And something occurred to me today, actually. It's like, why is it that before that one, I had 8-year-long relationship, very serious. I was engaged and all that. Harmonious. We just weren't compatible, which I realized later on. But nothing like this last relationship, okay? And so I kind of wondered, why is it that I was so put together, just discovering my flow, okay, my feminine rhythm. What do I want to do today? It's basically, feminine rhythm is about not stressing out in life, even when situations appear stressful by common standards. You know, when you take one blow after the other, I mean, it's life, it's not meant to be all smooth and fancy. So that's feminine energy, is discovering that inner voice and listening to it, and not chasing things, not overworking yourself till exhaustion. Usually people do that when they cope with something. Subconsciously, they're not aware of that, they're just doing it. Some people might be doing that consciously, okay? I feel bad, I feel anxiety rising up, I'm gonna go drink, I'm gonna go work extra hours, I'm gonna go on the run, and I'm gonna spend I don't know how long in the gym, until I feel exhausted. All of that is all right. So I was in that beautiful energy of just knowing myself, checking every time before I did something. I would just check. Am I going to see the guy because I am feeling anxious, because I cannot sit with myself, or am I going just because, I'm okay with both options and I want to have, some fun tonight, so I'm going to go. Everything was perfect for me. I sound balanced. And then I committed. Dumbest thing ever. However, what I'm realizing now is that, and I do mention some stuff in those previous voice memos, and they may not make sense and they may not be clear. I'm not sure if I'm going to clarify them eventually, but sometimes I'm just not explaining, from A to Z. I'm like, I'm just talking, rumbling. I don't even know where it's coming from. I'm just saying stuff. But I guess I can say now that with the time difference and where I am right now, the fact that I knew him made it easier for me in that time of my spiritual journey. Before I knew him, a lot of my focus was on the external world. I was purging a lot. I allowed myself to feel. Maybe it was because for the first time I was by myself. I didn't feel like I need to perform any longer. So I allowed myself to just feel all the pain that I didn't before. Or I did just a little bit. And it's exhausting. If you cry every day, it's exhausting, all right? For months, like 2-3 months, When I was at the university, I studied environmental stuff. So I'm somebody who really cares deeply. And all of that, I had especially in my last semesters, I had lectures that were really digging deep into the social injustice, cultural injustice, all that. During my studies, I found out, okay, there is no solution. Everything is about money. Oh, hey. So there was a lot of things, and it was so I had this environmental kind of load on my shoulders. I had a load of ending the 8-year-long relationship. And then I started to do these weird things when I started to live based on what my soul asked me to do without me actually thinking through it, all right? And none of that made any sense. So those voice memos are from that time of my life. But I was purging a lot of the pain that I felt with the world. The pain, just other people suffering. Why are people the way they are? Why do they hurt other people? And it was exhausting. And that's when I met the guy. And I realized, I did for a while now, that I fell in love with those aspects of himself that I possess. But I didn't see them objectively before. The playfulness, the joy for life. And I saw something in me needed that in that time when I was just purging and my soul was opening up and my heart was just swelling with pain for everything and everybody. And I would spend hours just walking around Vancouver and just talking and crying and just reflecting a lot. And at some point, I'm going to share this with you because this is something that helped me a lot. And, we each have the specific moment that enlightens us. I'm not saying this is going to be it. But there is this thing that to achieve peace, you need to come to peace with what is. And when you are really digging deep, when you really are curious about it, when you are really trying hard, it will come. the answers that helped me to come to peace with how things are. Especially North America, indigenous people, you see industry everywhere. It's pretty upsetting, and that's mildly put, okay? But I don't remember the day, but I just remember that understanding. What I realized was it is exactly how it is on an individual level, that it is on a humanity level. You basically gotta fuck up to learn, okay? Individuals build society. That's it. And that's something I noticed already when I was studying the environmental stuff. And the one thing that I got from my studies was that money rules the world. And change happens on a local scale. Middle finger, but it's just like point number 2. It's like, fuck that. No. Change happens on an individual level. So any project that I would see of local change that was successful and environmentally safe and social justice was at place happened when a local community deeply cares about their environment they're part of. And it translates into the language of work on yourself as an individual. That is the best way you can change the world. Okay? Don't try to move the mountain. Just don't. Find a way around it, through it, over it, below. You are the person, you choose your path, And so that's what I was purging at that time. And once I got that realization, the things didn't bother me anymore. I just had that moment when everything resonated inside of me, and it was like, that's what it is. Consciousness manifests in these bodies, in this world, to live, to experience itself, really. And when people are hurt on an individual level, it shows on a large scale. There is a huge strength in an individual. One hurt individual who blocks their heart, and then a second one, and a third one, and a fourth one, and boom, what do we have? Lost societies. Not all of them, okay? Not all of them. Talking predominantly about Western cultures. But people get lost. And that is why the change starts with you. It's like you can watch as many videos as you want on how to be a good parent. If you don't know how to parent yourself, it's like going around but missing the mark, Maybe you can do both things at the same time, but look into yourself first. And so so I was going through this purging about like the world is in pain and all that. And that's when I met the guy. So that was when I noticed that my focus went from the external pain to me. Okay? And once I committed, I got lost. And I got lost and I got found. I got found because with the awareness that was growing within me, I was able to figure out what's going on and learn new things about myself. And in that video, I talk about self-worth and self-compassion, and I tell you a year and a half later, there's still moments when there is just new levels of compassion coming up. So it is really relationship with yourself we're talking about. It's not a one-time deal. It is not a one-time epiphany and it's done. It's a relationship. So whatever you're going through in your life right now, or at any point, show up for yourself. That's really what matters. Show up for yourself. And yeah, it was the relationship that showed me my wounds. And at first I wasn't aware because it was, I was like built that way, you know? It was like my automatic system response, which is basically just nervous system thing. It's like, no, the other person matters more. Now I'm focusing everything on the other person. Now I'm this and that. Now I cannot be. Because the truth is that the other person suddenly feels entitled to you. And whatever they're carrying with them is suddenly louder, right? So that's when things clash. That's when stuff comes up and shit goes down. What's happening right now for me is that I am feeling pain. For example, last night I was crying, and that was because of some memory that I had from just a few weeks ago. And I was wondering, why am I crying now about it? And then I realized that at that time, when it was happening, part of me was already shut down. Part of me was like, it is not safe to show your true self here anymore. And 2 weeks later, my system is finally, now I am safe to express myself. So this is exactly what this personal work is about. Oh, everything has its own time, because it's not like I don't process pain and then 2 weeks later it shows up. There are different levels of things, and some of them will come first and then, seconds, thirds. And I love that. And it's not easy, but it does bring relief when you can finally cry. And when you connect the dots, when you realize that this is what the tears are about, this is very important, because you're acknowledging the part of you that wasn't allowed to be at certain point in time. So this happened now, and I'm gonna I'm gonna make another video about the other thing I want to talk about, because I don't want to mix the two. It's unnecessary. It's already pretty blended, everything that I mentioned. Okay, see ya.